So two big things in the LCO this week. In the middle of the second series between Mammoth Esports and Fury, Mammoth's ADC Gunkrab went AFK, apparently due to technical issues. Check out the clip.
We're in, but, what I see is somebody stuck in the fountain.
Gunkrab, come
That
back.
is tragic. That is really, really tragic. That's not the way you want this series to come to an end.
Oh dear. Okay, saving grace though, this does have no implications on the standings at all. So even though we are going forward with the 4v5 because if I do remember correctly, there is only a certain amount of time you can pause for before you're forced to unpause. Yeah, it's really unfortunate they have to go forward.
Our glorious league is basically supporting itself at this point, so the highest level of LCO is played from the comfort of one's home, which is why you see everyone on the webcams in vastly different environments. Throughout the rest of the day, we couldn't see Gunkrab on the stream, so it's safe to assume that his internet, which is notoriously terrible in Australia, completely dropped out. This would have been disappointing for Mammoth, as wins are kind of precious in the LCO. You see, each series has exactly 2 games. You either win both games or draw. Or lose both, but ideally not do that. Thankfully for the event organizers, Gunkrab leaving the game did not really affect the standings of the LCO table at all, but it does suck for Mammoth because they would have really wanted to fight for that last playoff spot. In fairness, the finalists have to compete in the PCS anyway because the LCO doesn't get a direct spot to international events. And they've kind of never made it out of PCS. Last split, both LCO teams lost 2-0, so yeah. Anyway, both teams expressed disappointment at the way the series ended, especially since all things considered, ties are pretty rare. I've tried to look for information on what happened, but Gunkrab himself doesn't really use X, and Mammoth haven't really made a statement on what happened. So I'm just going to assume that it was some sort of technical issue, or maybe he just really needed to be somewhere. He's probably fine. In other news, LCO players have been suspended from all Riot competitions for match fixing. Riot released this competitive ruling on X, stating that they had come to the decision to suspend Direwolves players Chen Xuan and River for suspected match fixing. The ban will last for 36 months and they will be unable to play competitively for that amount of time. River was actually suspended since May 17th for this, but the ruling comes after he failed to schedule an interview with Integrity Services, which is basically the Riot equivalent of ignoring a court summons. Both River and Chen Xuan will be unable to play until February of 2027. Riot also apparently found a certain individual A that was posing as the Direwolves coach in order to place bets on their matches. Using his name, he would apparently contact other esports players in regards to match fixing and bets. So yeah, this goes pretty deep. It just sucks because the LCO is struggling enough as it is without being plagued by these things. And I suppose from a financial standpoint, it makes sense for these guys to earn more money from bets than actually playing and winning the league. That's all. I'll see you guys in another 10 years.